Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am your host, Tommy. Please subscribe and please hit that thumbs up. Well, guys, it was a interesting July 4th for me because I work at a bar. So just to start that off, people get a little wild during holidays. so, but St. Patty's Day, that's the day where it is a pain in the ass to work. Let me see something. Sorry, guys. I am trying to figure something out here. There you go. But anyways, just a wild weekend and lots of fireworks going off at 3 a.m. Listen, I'm not one of those guys where it's like, stop that noise, young man, you get off my yard. That's not me. But if you're doing fireworks at 3 a.m., 2 days after July 4th, bro, that's a problem. And my dog was going nuts trying to sleep. So, that was my July 4th. I hope you guys had a better one. So I had to babysit grown adults that get drunk and act like idiots. And then I had to deal with fireworks 2 days after July 4th. And see that you hear my dog? That's what I had to deal with at 3:30 in the morning because people are lighting fireworks. Anyways, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys, whoever's watching. As you guys know, this is my third live show. So hopefully this is going smooth. And like I said, if you guys are watching this after, thank you. And pass the word, man, because I'm a newbie in this podcast game, and I'm just trying to. It's really, honestly, listen. At the end of the day, this is for fun for me. I love Bills. I love Buffalo Bills. I have other sport teams. If you guys don't know, big Piston fan, big Tiger fans, but football, man, Buffalo Bills, they do it for me, man. That's my drug, as you can say. Moving on. I did a video this week, I believe on Wednesday. And I got a little heat on it. And it was basically, the video was Brandon Beane, what's his worst mistake so far as GM since coming to the Buffalo Bills. I got a lot of heat for this, and I never said Brandon Beane, this means Brandon Beane is terrible or anything. Listen, I think Brandon Beane is excellent. He turned this whole football organization around, thank God. And I say that a lot. Anyone who follows me knows I preach it starts from the top, GM, coach, and then players. And thank God we got an awesome GM and a really good coaching staff. But, I mean, I still had to talk about it, right? So the 2019 draft, I had to bring it up because we don't really talk about it. Nobody really talks about it. And I thought, hey, why not do a video talking about it, right? And I got a lot of heat. But listen. The only thing I was trying to say was the DK Metcalf, him passing on DK Metcalf, it has to haunt him a little bit at night, right? It does. And of course, that's what I kept getting back from fans or whatever, saying, listen, can't hit on them all. You're going to miss some. He's not perfect. No GM's perfect. Yes, no doubt about it. But I still had to bring it up. And the reason why I brought it up is because who we selected. Okay. And really the whole draft was, if you really think about it, and it's kind of funny that the best player in that draft to date, in my opinion, is Devin Singletary. And he gets the most heat by Bills fans, which is unbelievable, right? I mean, honestly, does he not get the most heat? It's him and then Dawson Knox and then Cody Ford. Like, whoa, wow, right? And then maybe Ed Oliver. So, as you guys know, Ed Oliver was the first selection, which, listen, I was all for that pick, and I'm still for that pick. I love the Ed Oliver pick, and I still think Ed Oliver has so much, you know, potential. He does. Like, he hasn't hit a ceiling yet. There's no way he has. Last season, it was tough. 100%. With Star being out, he wasn't in the right position. A lot to it, right? I think this season is a big bounce back for Ed Oliver, and it's going to show. I truly believe he is a gifted athlete. And he's going to have more sacks this season. No doubt about it. Now, second round comes. Who do we select? Cody Ford. 6th pick in the second round. So early. Yikes. Listen, I'm not poo-pooing on Cody Ford, but the facts are the facts. We have yet to find a position for him. He has yet to really stay healthy for a complete season. That's a problem. Now, like I said, not every player is going to be a hit. I get it. But for as much as Brandon Beane loves his draft picks and values his draft picks, in the second round, having a chance to get DK Metcalf, man, like, wow. And then, of course, I get that, well, we wanted to got Diggs. Well, that's not true. Like, who's to say that? Because we had John Brown, who just had 1,000-yard season. We had Cole Beasley, whatever. We had a decent receiving cast. And we still traded for Stephon Diggs. So that doesn't really make sense. We could have still got Diggs, even if we drafted DK Metcalf. I'm just saying. So, and also Brandon Beane, I noticed a lot of his draft picks are picks that have a high ceiling, meaning they need a little work, but man, the potential's there for this player to be really, really good, right? And I'll even going back on that draft. Let's talk Dawson Knox. We all knew Dawson Knox just became a tight end, really. He used to be a quarterback. And he had potential, and he still does. I still think Dawson Knox can be a good tight end in this league. I do. I'm hoping that this tight end university thing, this helps him. I really do, because he shows flashes of being a really good tight end, like really good plays. But then he shows a lot of plays where it's like mind-boggling. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's an easy ball to catch, or why didn't you block there? What is going on? Running the wrong route. I mean, there's been so many plays. It's frustrating as a Bills fan to watch, because you see a guy that has the potential, right? He does. But man, yikes. So going back to the DK Metcalf. It's funny because it wasn't just us. I feel like a lot of GMs got scared or whatever because of all the media that we're talking about DK right before the draft, mind you. He had an excellent combine. And I felt like a lot of the GMs, or not even GMs, sorry. A lot of the media was like, he's not a good route runner. He's not this. He's too stiff. He can't do this. He can't do that. And boy, did DK drop out of that first round. And boy, did he drop in the second round. He was the last pick in the second round. And boy, oh boy, did he shut people up. His rookie season, his following season. And I just felt like out of all the players that Brandon Beane has drafted, like for potential, except for one, he's the best. That's Josh Allen. Boy, can you imagine? DK, Metcalf. I mean, like he probably hasn't hit his ceiling yet. Like this guy's still growing as a wide receiver in the league, and he's definitely top 10. Um, man, just a freakish athlete. And it just it hurts not drafting him when we had a chance. And we would have had him for a while on a rookie contract. But back to that draft. So, first 3 picks: Ed Oliver, Cody Ford, Dawson Knox, Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, however you want to do it. And then just a bunch of guys that, you know, I believe Daryl Johnson, who's still on the team, a special teamer. I mean, that draft there, it's shaky right now. Let's be real. I like Singletary, by the way. I still think he's our best player right now for 2019. That draft class, he's still the top guy in that draft class. You know, to me, in my opinion. But this season will tell a lot because I believe Ed Oliver will step up. I believe Devin Singletary is going to have a much better season. And he's going to shut a lot of people up. So hopefully that draft class could turn around. And Dawson Knox. It's going to be interesting. So I wanted to just talk about that video and just say, listen, I didn't bash Brandon Beane at all. I'm just speaking facts, and I'm just saying, like, he missed on one, and that's okay. Like, every GM misses on a player. I'm just surprised that because of Brandon Beane's style of drafting players that have an upside, that he wouldn't take the gamble in round 2 for a player that was projected originally to go in the first round. I'm just shocked that he didn't see him drop, and he was there, and he chose Cody Ford, who I honestly believe won't be on this team after this coming up season. He's just, man, like, he's not very good out there. Like, he makes a lot of mistakes, man. He gets bullied around. We'll see, man. I hope they're listen. I wish they had, like, you know, speaking of the Dawson Knox thing, I wish they had like a university for every position. Because this will be great for Cody Ford to go to an offensive line university, OLU. Like, that would be awesome. Like, he could learn from the top offensive linemen. Like, Knox is learning from the top tight ends. You know, that would be good for a lot of positions, right? A lot of guys that are struggling. Listen, you never know. This could turn into something that players start up season after season, different universities, whatever you want to call it, to help improve players. And listen, kudos to Dawson Knox, by the way, for doing this. He didn't have to do this. Nobody told him. He's not forced to do anything, right? And he's doing it to better himself. So hopefully that works. But yeah, Cody Ford needs to, like, I hope they start an offensive line university and he goes and gets better. Man, it's rough to watch sometimes. Moving on. Chris Sims, my buddy Chris Sims. Man, you know, it sucks because I actually like Chris Sims. Like, because he's one of the few dudes out there, one of the few, you know, media guys that has liked Josh Allen from the get-go. And I'm like, man, there you go. You know, and he's been pretty good on our team as far as, like, he doesn't bash us, you know, because there's still media guys that are like, same old Bills or whatever they say. I try to block it out, but it is what it is. But Chris Sims came out this week and said Greg Rousseau is a bust. He's a bust. It's going to be a bust. Wow. So the guy has yet to even play a preseason game. and Chris Sims is already calling him a bust. Yikes. Boogie Basham said he's a boom or bust. That doesn't make sense because most of the players that are coming out are boom or bust. I mean, if you really want to talk the truth, they haven't played a snap in the NFL. Mind you, Chris Sims was big on Josh Rosen. Didn't say boom or bust there, just said he's going to be a great quarterback. He is NFL ready. He could start for any team. And that guy is really bad. So, man, for as much as I was liking Chris Sims, because he was on the Josh Allen train and he's doing his Josh Allen songs, which, by the way, was terrible. Like, I wanted to like it, but it was bad and cheesy. And I think even Josh Allen, when he played it for him, because they did some interview, was like, God, this is bad. Like, this is really cheesy, but I'll just go along with it kind of thing. I never remember the song. It was so bad. If you guys have a chance, YouTube it. I mean, it's god awful. I wouldn't be playing it at my home anytime soon. But yeah, man, he lost credibility with me because you can't call somebody a bust who hasn't played a single snap, not even the preseason yet. Usually, even for rookies, sometimes it takes them a couple seasons even to get going. Not every rookie comes out the gate running, man. Like, they just don't. Some take time to get going. Some do. Some get out. Some come out the gate. Boom. They're great. Some come out the gate running and they're terrible the next season. That's how it works, man. Like, not every player, but to call somebody a bust without seeing them, like I said, is, man, that's a crappy thing to say. And I'm going to tell you right now, Gregory Rousseau is not going to be a bust. And I get like what a lot of people are saying. One season doesn't prove a lot, but the one season he had 15 and a half sacks. Then they say, well, a lot of those sacks were just sacks because the quarterback happened to come his way because he was running away from another edge rusher or linebacker. Right place, right time. I'm sorry, but it doesn't always work that way. Like, defensive tackles, edge rushers, they're constantly moving. They're constantly, you can't give up on a play. If you give up on a play, which there's some players that do, when you give up on a play, then of course you're not going to do anything good. You're not going to get a sack or whatever. Clearly, he doesn't give up on a play, and he got those sacks. And those count. So I don't care how he gets them, as long as he gets them, right? I mean, that's the whole point, right? I'm not complaining if one of our defensive players get a sack in the game and it was because he rushed into his way. What perfect example, Jordan Phillips got some of those kind of sacks. I didn't care. Like, Jordan Phillips had a great season. Whatever. I wish we had that last season. Right? That was the whole thing with Jordan Phillips. He continued to go hustle, grind. No matter what, he was going with the play until the whistle blew, right? And that's what you're supposed to do. And that's what Gregory Rousseau did in college. Not only that, he's long, he's tall, he's fast, he's gonna get weight. You know, he kind of reminds me of a little bit. Now, he's not as big, but he could get bigger. And by the way, when he got into Miami, I believe he only weighed like 200 pounds because he was like a basketball player. He got up to like 260. That's a lot, man. So he can clearly gain weight. And by the way, it's not fat. Like, the guy is pretty built. So he could get up to that weight. But the player he kind of reminds me of is Mario Williams. Mario Williams was the same size, 6'6". I think they had this almost the same arm length. He had Mario Williams, I think, had 10-inch hands. I think he has 11, something like that. But very similar as far as like height, weight. Like it's close, man. Mario Williams coming into NFL was, I think, 290 pounds. Rousseau is 267, 270, somewhere around there, 265. They're definitely going to put weight on Rousseau. I could see for sure Rousseau getting up to about the 285, 290 range. At least 280. For sure 280. They're definitely going to have him gain weight. But I think this guy is going to show up this season. It's going to be interesting too, preseason, which I'm going to get to right now. So preseason position battles, very interesting. I actually think this is probably the most important preseason Buffalo Bills had for a long time. There's a lot of players that Bills Mafia love may not be here. And it sucks. Believe me, it does. I wish we can keep them all. I really do. Because I like them all, man. That's one thing about Bills Mafia, man. We love our players, man. We love the underdogs too. Duke Williams. I mean, we just do, man. That's what we're about. So getting on the position battles. So we're going to start with the running backs. And that's a good one. So what do you got? You got Singletary, you got Moss, you got Matt Breida, Antonio Williams, Christian Wade. Christian Wade is not going to make the team. Maybe a practice squad, but I shouldn't even be counting him in this preseason battle because it's not going to happen. Okay. It's interesting because right now Singletary on the depth chart is RB1, even though it's running back by committee, which it is going to be, but there's still going to be a primary back. There's still going to be a back that gets more possessions, more snaps is the way it's going to be. And I initially, my thinking was it was going to be Singletary, Breida, and then it's going to come down to Moss or Antonio Williams. Well, I've been hearing things. I've been hearing, Breida could be on the roster bubble. And then I got to looking at Breida's history. He has an injury history. He hasn't done too well in the last 2-3 seasons. Miami didn't use him at all. There's a reason for that. And Miami had a problem with running. Why wasn't he used? He got hurt in Miami as well. He got COVID. I mean, there was so much to it. So, me thinking he was a lock. I don't know. Maybe not. So that's why the preseason is going to tell a lot with, I would say, Singletary, Moss, Breida, and Antonio Williams. Because Antonio Williams, he showed out the last game of the season against a pretty good Dolphins defense. And that's one thing I got to say on our running attack last season. We had a tough time closing out games with our running because we just couldn't get it going, man. Our offensive line wasn't blocking well. Maybe Singletary wasn't playing as well either. Moss certainly didn't do what he said he was going to do, which was like run people over. And it's going to, if you want to tackle me, it's going to be a problem. It just, that didn't really happen. But Antonio Williams comes in and man, like he's running people over. I mean, like he looked really promising. So yeah, you best believe that McDermott is going to give him an opportunity in preseason. And if he shows out, man, watch out Moss. Watch out Breida. I'm just saying, I really think Singletary will get less snaps in preseason. He is going to go into the season as RB1. Few reasons because of that. I feel like he is a little ahead of the other players as far as the playbook goes. And listen, he had a good rookie season, man. Like he's still that elusive guy. He gained some weight I just think McDermott trusts him a little bit more. That could change during the regular season for sure. Nothing is set in stone with the running back position. But as of right now, it's going to come down to in the preseason for the RB2 spot for at least Moss, Breida, and Tony Williams, man. Like, it's important because one of those guys are probably going to get cut. Just saying. Now, wide receiver. We all know who's starting wide receiver, right? We know who the guys are probably not going to even play preseason. So I'll just get to the guys that could potentially be cut. These guys got to show out. You got Isaiah Hodgins, which I don't think they're going to cut anyways, even if he doesn't have a great preseason or whatever. I think they're really high on him. They've been high on him since his rookie season. Apparently this guy can catch anything and he doesn't drop anything. So we'll see. I'm very interested because I didn't get to see. Nobody saw him play. I didn't see him play. I mean, I saw highlights in college, but nothing in NFL because he was hurt. So that's going to be fun to watch. Then you got Isaiah Mckenzie, who just signed a 1-year deal. He could also be a roster bubble guy. I mean, depending on how the kick returns go, which I'll talk about later. Then you got Marquez Stevenson, which I'm going to talk to you guys later. And then you got Jay Kumar. Jay Kumar, he's going to really have to show out to make this team. We have such a full wide receiver room. I don't see it happening. I see us putting him on the practice squad, but I also could see somebody scooping him up because I don't think he's a bad receiver. I think he's average. But we have just too much talent in that room, man. And unfortunately, it's only 53, right? So we're not going to keep that many receivers. It's not going to happen. So I think Kumaro probably won't make the team. Next, defensive tackle. This is interesting because there's only two really that I'm eyeing on. That's Harrison Phillips and that's Zimmer. So as you guys know, Harrison Phillips, I've been talking about Phillips. He has been a disappointment in my eyes. He had an okay rookie season. You know, I thought it was average. You know, a lot of Bills fan thinks he had a great season. It wasn't great. It was average to good. And then the injury bug came, right? And then he's getting benched. He's not suited up. Like, he's getting, Zimmer's playing over him. I mean, things are kind of showing that maybe he's not the guy. And then we bring in Zimmer, and what does he do? Saves the game for us because we might have lost that game against the Patriots with a key strip fumble on Cam Newton. I don't recall Harrison Phillips ever making a big splash play on the top of my head that mattered, that you could sit back and say, man, remember last season when Harrison Phillips made that huge tackle? We'll see, man, because you know what? Harrison Phillips is a good guy. He's a really, really good dude. Does a lot in the community. I like him. I do, man. But I don't know, man. If he doesn't show out in preseason and Zimmer shows out, I could see Phillips either being cut or maybe practice squad, maybe making the team, but not start. I don't know, man. That's a rough one for me. We'll see. We'll see. That's why this preseason matters. Now, edge. This is a tough one, man. Mario Addison, Rousseau, AJ Espinosa. Man, I think they're going to keep Addison. I think they're going to keep because they want that, veteran along with Hughes to help Boogie, to help Gregory, Rousseau. But man, if Rousseau is just dominating, which I'm not saying he's going to, but let's just say he's playing very well in preseason. I could definitely see Rousseau starting. Why not? Who cares if he's a rookie? Like, I don't care about that. He's our first round pick. Like, if he's showing that he can get to that quarterback better than Addison, then I'm sorry. We got to think about what we're going to do with Addison. We cut Addison, save some money on the cap, um, sign somebody that's a free agent that we could, need some help. Cornerback position, Steven Nelson is out there. I mean, there's some stuff that we can do by clearing, freeing that cap by cutting Addison, but we'll see. Kick returner, punt returner. Well, as you guys know right now, it is Mckenzie. But Marquez Stevenson, he is a burner too. Going to be interesting. Very interesting. I think right now, obviously McDermott trusts Mckenzie right now because he knows him. But how much does he trust him? Because, I mean, we had Andre Roberts, and he never really played Mckenzie back for kick returns ever. And Mckenzie had a couple fumbles, I think, one season or one preseason, kick returning, punt returning, something like that. So, we'll see. But if Marquez Stevenson shows out, which I believe he will, by the way, man, this guy is a lot faster than what he did on his combine. I mean, if he sees open field, he is gone, bro. He is gone. And he's fast too. Don't get me wrong, but I think Marquez has him beat there. They had a race. I'm telling you right now, I think Marquez, he probably is the fastest player on the team. But it goes back to also wide receiver room, because I don't think Marquez Stevenson has that trust yet to playing what Mckenzie does, the jet sweeps, all the other, plays that the trick plays that Allen does with him, that Dable sets up. Marquez Stevenson's not going to be up to date like, Mckenzie is. He's not going to have that trust that, that Dable's given him. It's just not. So could Isaiah McKenzie make the team or get cut, or for wide receiver if they're going to only play him as kick returner? It's interesting. It is. I'm telling you guys, this preseason is going to be wild because a lot of players are going to be fighting for their job, man. And a lot of them are pretty decent to good players. And have we ever sat back and said this on a Bills roster? It's been a long time that we're like, we got too many good players. Somebody has to go. Like, man, that's pretty cool to say, right? Finally. So I also want to talk about former players. Listen, the other day I tweeted out on Thursday a Throwback Thursday Peerless Price video, because I saw it on YouTube or whatever. It was a game, and they did the Peerless Price is Right, like the Price is Right. And I had to record it, and I sent it, and Peerless Price actually like retweeted it. Thought it was so cool, man. I've gotten lucky, by the way, on some others. Like Thurman Thomas, like one of my tweets. I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But I told him, I said, man, I tweeted back. I said, Bills Mafia always loves their former players. I mean, like, we don't care if you've been here a year. For the most part, I would say most of ex-Buffalo Bill players, we love. Like, we show so much love to those guys, and they feel it, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, ask almost any former Buffalo Bill player. They'll tell you, man, I love Bill. I love Bills fans. I love Bills Mafia. And it's just amazing, man. Like, and he tweeted, I think he tweeted to me, he said, I miss those Buffalo days or something like that. And I'm like, man, dude, Peerless Price, man, when he was with Eric Moulds and it was Josh Reed. I messed up. I put Josh Evans on the tweet. I feel like an idiot. Like, I was thinking Lee Evans, but I put Josh. I don't know what the hell I was doing. But I meant Josh Reed. We had a decent offense, man. Yeah, Drew Bledsoe back there. Eric Moulds was a beast. Peerless Price was a beast when he played for us. Look at his numbers, man. Eric Moulds, of course, was a beast. Josh Reed wasn't terrible, man. He was pretty complimentary third receiver. Man, it's just we can never get things right back in those days, man, for some reason. And we had decent players, pretty good players. But anyways, back to my point. Those Mafia, man, we always show love to those players, man. Like, honestly, like I don't know if any team, like even different sports, can say that like they have that like love for former players, like how Bills fans does. Like we just do. It really is amazing when you think about it. Like the love we show for ex players, no matter if they've only been here a year. Like, all right, man, you play for Buffalo, you're here forever. You know what I mean? You're part of us. Now, there's a few. At least me personally, I don't care about. Okay, just a few. Um, so who do we got that I don't like? Rob Johnson. Not a fan. Not a fan of Rob Johnson. Trent Edwards, probably my most hated Buffalo Bill player ever. Just I despise the guy. He just did not like playing in Buffalo. He was like grumpy. And he's Captain Checkdown, man. Like the most boring quarterback ever to play for Buffalo Bills. Honestly. Like Rob Johnson was exciting. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't. I'm just saying, like compared to him, like Rob Johnson was like fucking like Jesus. I would have took Rob Johnson, and I don't even like Rob Johnson. Like I was all Flutie, by the way. Like I was so pissed when they benched Flutie in the playoffs for Rob Johnson. Like that was like unbelievable, and that made me hate Rob Johnson even more. So yeah, so it's Rob Johnson, Trent Edwards. I'm sure there's more that I could think of, but there's not that many. Not that many. Shit, even T.O. came in here one season. Whatever, man. T.O.'s cool with me. I like T.O. Like, hey, man, he's part of Buffalo Bills history. That's cool. One season. Did all right. Can't complain. So yeah, so that's just wanted to throw that out there, man. I love our former players, man, and I love when they tweet back to me. It's so cool, man. Really cool. Moving on. So the AFC East quarterbacks. I have to talk about this, man. Yikes! Besides Josh Allen, whew, boy, oh boy, like that's rough. So we all know Josh Allen, boom, man, elite. Runner up in MVP. Probably will be MVP very soon, probably this season. Next, you got New England. Cam Newton slash, and I'm going to put that slash Mac Jones. Because I don't think Cam Newton's going to finish the season as starting quarterback. I just don't think it's going to happen. Mac Jones, yikes. Like, I don't think New England fans wanted Mac Jones. Good luck there. Non-mobile quarterback, slow as molasses. He's going to get killed. They have no wide receiver help. I know they got the two tight ends, but I guess they're trying to go back like old school New England style football. But there's one problem. There's no Tom Brady. No Tom Brady there anymore. He's gone. Mac Jones is not Tom Brady. Not going to happen. They're going to wind up drafting another quarterback or trading for a quarterback because neither of those guys are going to work. I'm telling you right now. Mac Jones is going to get destroyed back there. I mean, really. Good luck. And Cam Newton, man, he's been done. And I've been saying this since he still was in Carolina. Like, he just can't stay healthy. His arm is not the same. I think he gets tired during like the second half of the season. I think he starts off okay, but you could see his like arm dying, like 6 games into the season, man. These are just facts. I mean, look at the film. And when he runs, it takes off, man, it's like, I get that he's dude is a freak. You're like, he's in shape still, big dude, but man, like you could see him. He still fumbles the ball. Now he fumbles now. I wouldn't want him running around. He's going to get hurt, shoulder. Like, I mean, like, man, New England, yikes. Like Belichick, man, just I get he's a good coach. He has a Super Bowls, but man, he's not doing good drafting. That pick, yikes. I don't know about that. And I think they overpaid on the both tight ends too. Just my opinion. I mean, I get they're trying to do the whole old school New England thing, but not going to work. On to Miami. Tua. Tank for Tua. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, did he have a rookie season to talk about. Not really, but I'll talk about it. Yeah, so didn't start. Then they pulled Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though they were winning, to put Tua in, who struggled. Then they benched him halftime on, like, I think a second game or something. Ryan Fitzpatrick came in, won the game. Then Tua still started the next game. Then they did the same thing. They want to bench him in the fourth quarter. They did that most of this season, right? They did this, okay, we're going to sit you, we're going to start, you're going to sit, you're going to start. I mean, during the game, by the way. Like, this wasn't like, this was, I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'll be honest. Like, there's musical chairs of quarterbacks on a rookie. Like, that's especially when you're winning. Like, wasn't like the Dolphins were like, I don't know, a couple wins, right? Like 2-6 to start the season. And all right, throw the rookie in there. I get it. Like, we did that with Josh Allen, right? Because what's his name was, Peterman was god awful. Like, I get it. But man, you're like winning, like with Fitz. What are you doing? And then if you're gonna do it. Stick with it. Like, that had to kill his confidence a little bit. I don't care what Tua says. Like, oh no, I'm cool with it. Like, whatever. Like, I don't mind. No, of course he minds, man. Like, and if he doesn't mind, then he shouldn't be an NFL quarterback. Because I would freaking mind if I'm a starting quarterback. Oh, hey, we're gonna sit you. Like, we don't trust you in this fourth quarter. We're gonna put this guy in. Like, I'd be like, what the? Why are you fucking kidding me? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, I kind of feel like they killed his confidence a little bit. And I also feel like, man, like, maybe they thought he was going to be a little bit better. Like, I didn't see any wow plays from Tua. Like, yeah, Josh Allen had a rough rookie season, but you could still look back and go, wow, like, did you see that? Did you see Josh Allen do that play, or, hurdle that guy, or throw that pass, that rocket? I mean, there were still plays that we could sit back and say, we see the potential in this guy. Like, he wowed us. Like, you could see it. It's there, with Tua. And now, mind you, I'm not like this big Dolphin guy. I'm not saying I study the Dolphin films. But from what I saw when we played him, or just highlights in general, he had a rough, man. Like, I didn't see many deep balls. Like, he didn't throw very deep. Like, I think his average was pretty bad when it came to, like, yards thrown. I felt like for a guy that's supposed to be a mobile quarterback, he only rushed for like a little over 100 yards or something like that, 200 yards, like, not very good. His touchdowns, I think he only had like 10 on the whole season. He played god awful in the game that counted the most against our backups, through like multiple interceptions. Oh man, like, that's rough, man. And it's not like that Dolphin team has bad receivers. I mean, they have pretty decent receivers. Like, they got some, Parker's not bad. I forget the other guy's name, but he's not bad either. And then you got Gesicki, the tight end, who's, like, to me, he's one of the probably definitely top 10 tight end, probably maybe top 5. He's really good. And he has this guy throwing to him. So, and they got a real problem this season, because guess what? There's no Fitzpatrick to come in and baby him anymore. There's no coach, can't do that no more. I don't even know who their backups are. Oh, Jacoby Brissett, right? I think Jacoby Brissett. So, I mean, is he any? I mean, you might see Jacoby Brissett starting, like, at a certain point of the season. I mean, and if that happens, you can see the Dolphins drafting another quarterback, because if that happens this season, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. Going to be tank for whoever the hell is next year's quarterback in the draft. Moving on, the Jets. Zach Wilson. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. He is going to get chewed up. Did you guys see their backups? Like, I don't even know these guys. Like, I've never heard of their backups. There's like 2 of them. I don't even know who the hell they are. Never heard of them, and I know my football. Boy, like, good luck, man. The Jets are so bad, man. Like, they are poorly ran. Like, how the hell do you not get some veteran quarterback to help them out? Like, I get it. You're going to start him, cool. Like, I'm never against not starting a rookie. Like, hey, if he's your number 1 pick, I get it. Like, cool, man. Not everybody has a great, quarterback still in place that's older, that could play that one season. Like, the Mahomes thing, right? Like, I get it. But, geez, this guy is nobody. He has nobody to go to the bench to talk to. Like, he's this, like, garbagey ass player. So, yeah, for AFC East quarterbacks, Allen is top dog by far. I think we're going to run away with the division. Man, I think New England and the Jets are going to be fighting for like a draft, like the number 1 draft pick. I mean, they're bad. Like, they're real bad. In Miami, I mean, honestly, man, like, they won 10 games last year, mostly because of Fitzpatrick. That's just the truth. They may not win 10 games. So I believe we run away with the AFC East. We just have the by far the best quarterback. We have the best team, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about quarterbacks right now. It's not even close. It's just not. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. And listen, you guys, I wanted to, thank you once again for tuning in. It's not easy during this time of football, like the off season. June, July, my God, like, there's just not a lot to talk about. So trust me, I'm looking around for things to talk about. And it's I hope that you guys were entertained by the things that I did talk about. Yo, what's up? Adam Brown, what's going on, brother? Sorry if did I totally miss your chats? Hey, thanks for hopping on. Have you been on the whole time, or what's up? Or did you just hop on? Because I've been ranting over here for like 48 minutes, and I'm like out of stuff now. I want to keep going. I do. I guess we want to talk Bills right now. Let's just talk about real quick. A big fight tonight, you guys. Got McGregor for here. Who you guys got? McGregor? I tell you what, man. McGregor, this is his last chance. If he loses, I think he should retire. That's a wrap for McGregor. If he loses. I think he's lost like 3 of his last 4 fights or something crazy like that. Yeah, like, he has to show out this fight because no one's going to believe his bullshit hyping up, his talking, his flamboyant, like, like, I'm going to do this, man. Like, if you're going to go in there and get knocked out after talking all that shit, like, I'm done with you. Like, people are going to be like, this guy's bullshit, right? Because anyone could talk that talk, right? And I'm not saying like he wasn't like an awesome fighter back in the day, but that's one thing about UFC. Like, these guys, they don't stay on top long, man. They don't. Like, anyone could beat anyone. Any fight, man. It's like UFC's crazy like that. It's not like boxing. Boxing's different. Like, to me, like, if you're a really skilled boxer and you're going against, an average boxer, like that, guys, the skilled boxer should definitely win. Like, that's just the way it is. But MMA, man, dude, like, there's so many ways to lose. Chokehold, this triangle, this ankle lock, kicking the guy in the legs, whatever. It's just knockout, bro. All these guys are jacked up. I mean, like, all these guys are good. So they, like I said, they don't stay on top long. So I mean, the proof is the heavyweight division. Like, I think, like, the last champion, Stepe, whatever, I can't pronounce the name. I think he's like the longest reigning heavyweight champion of all time with 3 defenses or something like that. Like, oh, are you kidding me? 3 defenses? Like there's boxers that like defended their belt like for years, right? Like, I mean, like, wow. So that just goes to show you, like, MMA is not easy, man. You can lose. That's why I would never bet on MMA. Because, man, like, that's rough, man. Like, it ain't for sure. Not for sure, man. Like I said, there's some guys on there top dogs right now, but trust me, their time's coming. It's how MMA works, man. Time is a coming. But you guys, I want to thank you for watching. I'm out of stuff to talk about. I mean, I could talk sports all day, but this is a Bills channel, and prelims are starting. I think they already started. And yeah, man. Hey, Bills Mafia #1. I'll be here every Saturday at 8. I appreciate whoever watched me, whoever stayed on, whoever's going to watch this later. Thank you. And I'll get better, you guys. I will. Bills Mafia #1. Peace.